Fantasy football is my religion.
Smile.
Is the love, Brad.
But they are who we thought they were, and we let them off the hook.
All I see are lies and collusion. This whole season is nuts.
Giddy on up, giddy on out.
One-on-one, I'm undefeated, never lost.
Hey fellas, welcome to another episode of Fantasy Gravy, the official podcast of the Kappa Sigma Alumni Fantasy Football Leagues, hosted by me, current Dynasty champ and 2014 Bunny champ, and your 2018 Dynasty champ, the Carpenter himself, Stu. So, what's up, Stu?
Hey guys, how are you guys tonight? Yeah, it's been a little crazy around here. The wife was doing all kinds of stuff today, so I actually was off work today, which was nice, but I had the kids all day. So it has been a little bit crazy today in the Weiniger household and some crazy weeks to come. I can't tell you guys kind of what's going on right now, but when it's all said and done, I will let you guys know what's going on. It is nuts. So, but we've got a great show for you guys tonight. We've got the league juggernaut, kind of upset I'm not in that section. Ambulance report. Dear Lord, there's way too much of that to go around. Like that is an awful section to talk about. League consensus power rankings are Collusion Corner, Wab Lotto, Laura Bell Bundy, Big Board of Bets, and Brad and Stu's bias predictions. I mean, they're so biased tonight. I'm going to let you know, very biased. So, Brad, we're going to go ahead and move on to the fantasy juggernaut.
Don't you know who I am? I'm the Juggernaut, bitch!
Okay, guys, so Fantasy Juggernauts, our number one Fantasy Juggernaut of the week is Ryan Dixon himself, Mr. Florida man down there with 160.3 points. Dak Prescott was his MVP. A good rebound after last week. His team took a hard hit last week with injuries and everything, with Miles Sanders being out. But he got hit with another injury, but we'll talk about that later. I came in second with 146.5. I would like to thank Aaron Jones for being my MVP on that one with that 40 burger.
Crazy.
Saved me. Matt with 137.92. His MVP was, of course, Day's Russell Wilson. And then Lubbock came in fourth, our final juggernaut, with 135.78. His MVP was Kareem Hunt. I'd like to note me, Matt, and Lubbock, all their second straight week of being juggernauts. And speaking of juggernauts, I just spoke to the guru himself, Adam, earlier today, and he said, you know what, Brad? Because you should, include those, score 130 plus, but don't make it. Maybe like an honorable mention. And I was like, what about a miserable mention? Because if you score that much and lose, you're miserable the next day. So introducing the miserable mentions, they have hope. They did good, but kind of lost. Sam, the third highest score with 143.34 points. Just barely losing to me. Thank you, Josh Jacobs. And Vince with the fourth highest score with 140.9 points and still losing. You are both very miserable. If I scored 140 points and lost, I'd be miserable. So that is your miserable mentions. And
I will
Stu,
go ahead.
Can we move on to the?
I'm going to go ahead and mention it. I wish I was in there. I made one roster mistake and didn't put in a tight end I should have to be into the juggernauts this week. And I did promise Dylan that I would go ahead and mention his name in this section. He was a miserable 2 points away from being a fantasy juggernaut. So the league had a good scoring week overall, but this next section caused a lot of us to not enjoy those victories necessarily.
At least you two won.
We did. We're not the miserable mentions. We're definitely not that. We're miserable because we don't get to be mentioned in the Juggernaut specifically as one. But yeah, we won and don't have lost an additional loss this week. So that's always a bright side. Brad, what are we going to go ahead and move on to now?
Let's move on to the ambulance report.
All right. We've got our new injuries. We're going to break this down a little bit differently than we normally do just because there's so many. There's so many. So we're going to go worst to not as bad, but still there. Out for the season, Brad. Who are our two players out and done for the year?
Mo, I'm sorry. Saquon Barkley tore an ACL out for the season. Dixon, you got Cortland Sutton back for almost a whole game. On ACL out for the season. So that stinks. You guys aren't getting them back. We need to put them in the IR spot because I'm not going to play again this season. Drop them out on waivers. Mo already did that with old Saquon. And then as far as severe injuries, this is where old Stu, sorry, man, Christian McCaffrey, the high ankle sprain. As a ankle sprained expert myself and, victim of that miserable injury, he's going to be out 4 to 6 weeks. Alvin Kamara and Saquon got the same injury last year. Tried to rush back, really hindered their performance. Carolina, I think, did the smart thing. They went and put them on the short-term IR. Just rehab your dang ankle, get it nice and healthy. See where you're at after that. Hydrate.
Always drink.
And yeah, so sucks for Christian McCaffrey. Anything you wanna say about that?
Yeah. Hydrate more. Do more workouts before you play football. Don't get your ankle rolled up on. I saw the play that this potentially happened. I think it happened a couple of plays before, and he actually scored me his second touchdown of the day with this injury, I think. So I kind of saw him looking a little funky, was hoping that it wasn't much of anything. So I'm actually excited that they put him on the short term. That's 3 weeks minimum that he can't do anything. He's not allowed to work out. He's not allowed to go and be with the team really. So all he can do is rehab, which I'm super excited about. Last year I had Saquon. He had this exact same injury, possibly a worse version of it. I don't know the severity of this high ankle sprain, but he rushed back way too quickly and wasn't the Saquon that he was promised to be.
Yeah. Well, one thing I can say is at least Christian McCaffrey pulled a T.Y. Hilton for you. And that's because long-standing fans community, T.Y. Hilton always got hurt, and when they would be out for the game, he always did it right after scoring a touchdown.
He did.
So he always left you with something. It wasn't at least it wasn't first quarter, second play of the game, and then boom, you got nothing out of it.
Yeah, he made sure to destroy Lovick or Kaprovic's dreams before he went out for 4 to 6 weeks. So that was kind of him.
That's Christian McCaffrey. Old run CMC is not going to be running for a few weeks, but we'll see where he is in his recovery process in a few.
Yep.
Rashad Perriman sprained his ankle. He's week to week, but he plays for Adam Gase, so nobody should want him anyways because Adam Gase is a fancy black hole.
He's the number
Paris
2 for
Campbell,
sure. Number 2.
Yeah, Paris Campbell. I mean, I just got him, and I was pretty excited because Phillip Rivers loves throwing to the slot. And this dude had a really high draft capital. Sprained his MCL and PCL. He's out for a while. So he's back out there in waivers. Raheem Mostert. Sam, at least he got you that 80-yard touchdown run. He pulled T.Y. Hilton for you before he got hurt. But old Colonel Mustard, he has a injury history himself. He sprained his MCL. He'll be out for a while. So you're like, oh, well, then let's go pick up Tevin Coleman in waivers because that way we can have the San Francisco running back. Nope. Tevin Coleman also tore up his knee sprain. They said it's worse than Mostert's, and he's likely to be headed to the IR. So neither of them are going to be good for a while. Sterling Shepard placed on the IR, turf toe. So his big toe's hurting him. Placed on 3-week IR to make room for Devontae Freeman. And Julio Jones, hurt hamstring in the game. Further strained in practice. He's doubtful for week 3. That sucks for CoPro. And then Tyrod Taylor, probably the worst injury of them all.
Oh, this is crazy. This is a lawsuit. Like, there's no way this dude. Okay, he loses his job and for sure gets malpractice suit. There's no possible way Tyrod Taylor does not get a lawyer after this.
He was getting a pain shot for a chest injury, and
that he got in practice.
Dude, he punctured his lung. That's scary. So Tyrod Taylor, punctured lung.
Did you see the report that his new doctors, not the one that punctured his lung, but his new doctors have suggested that he does not play football indefinitely. They don't want to give him a timeline when he can play again.
Yeah, because, this isn't like a regular internal injury to your lungs. This is somebody actually poking a darn needle through the thing, and this is bad.
Those are supposed to be hole free and supposed to keep air in for you. But when you have a big giant hole in them from a freaking needle, that doesn't work very well.
Yeah. So those are the severe injuries. The mild injuries. Devontae Adams hurt his hamstring. They took him out kind of precautionary during the game because it was well out of hand. But he's still kind of uncertain for week 3 for Green Bay.
I thought they said he wasn't going to play. They
haven't said he's out yet.
Who has him?
From questionable to uncertain. I think it's just Green Bay doesn't want to give their opponent any idea if Devontae is going to play or not.
Yeah,
I think they play on Monday night or something. Sunday night or Monday night.
Yeah.
So that sucks.
Shep has him.
Yeah, Shep, you might want to go ahead and you might roll the dice. But we'll see what happens there. Cam Akers, rib cartilage injury. He's questionable to return this week. We'll see if they hold him out or not. But
I hear you get hit in the ribs a couple of times when you're the running back.
Yeah, so I think Darrell Henderson will probably get a few more carries still this week. I don't think they're just going to rush Cam Akers right back in.
No, and the only way he can even practice this week with this injury is if he took a pain shot every day, which I don't think they're going to do for him so he can practice. Now your next guy, Brad, I've got some interesting news on that one. So go ahead and who's next?
Malcolm Brown, broken finger, expected to be back. What's going on with Malcolm Brown, Stu?
He actually had surgery yesterday and is expected to play this week.
Yep.
But funny, did you know that like pass catching running backs and running backs in general have to hold on to the ball, and when you have this finger you just got surgically fixed, if you hurt it again, it typically doesn't work right. Did you know that? you can really strip a ball from a guy that has a broken finger, even if it is surgically repaired.
I really see Darrell Henderson is getting the bulk of the carries this week just because of the circumstances. And then Jimmy Garoppolo, high ankle sprain, but he's a non-mobile quarterback, so he'll tough it out. Sammy Watkins was taken out of the game after a hit to the head. He's questionable this week. I think he's not in the concussion protocol, though. Deontay Johnson has a lingering toe injury per Mike Tomlin, so keep an eye on that one, Dylan. DJ Shark, chest injury, questionable for Thursday Night Football. When asked about him missing practice today, the head coach said, I just think we're being careful. There's no reason to get guys practice and everything when they're going to be playing on Thursday night anyways, especially if they're one of your high-octane players. So
yeah, it's not like it's his rookie year or anything and he doesn't know the offense. Like, he's been there the entire time. He knows what he's doing. Him and Minshew have just got to figure it out. But, yeah, like, he's the guy.
Because he's in year 3, so he's all right. And then just updates to previous injuries. G is so smooth. He's practicing. He's more likely going to be back this week. Chris Godwin passed the concussion protocol. Some good news for you, Mo. AJ Brown week to week with the bone bruise in his knee. He's probably not going to play this week. George Kittle, limited practice. He's questionable to play. Still got that hyperextension in his knee. How good Jordan Reed played. Just give the man another week. Jameson Crowder, hamstring week to week. He's not been placed short-term IR yet. Once again, though, that's Adam Gase. So,
Yeah.
Michael Thomas probably not going to play this week. That high ankle sprain. I'm surprised they should put him on a short-term IR. I feel like the Saints are just being dumb.
Well, I mean, if you watch that game on Monday, I don't think it's that dumb because Drew Brees looked awful without him.
If you throw him out there, he just re-aggravates it. You're just throwing your season away anyways, though.
Yep.
And Philip Lindsay, sprained toe. He's expected to be out another 2 to 4 weeks. And Deebo Samuel, who's recovering from foot surgery in the offseason. He had like a freak accident where he broke his foot. He's expected to be activated by week 4. So, and that is your long list of injuries. Sam Bradford went ham.
And yes, Mo, it was me that suggested that there might be another witch doctor at work. 2020 is a big year. And I mean, if Sam Bradford isn't tuckered out after this last weekend, he's got to be having them help because, dear Lord.
It's got to be AJ Green.
I mean,
AJ Green helping him out. He's still healthy.
He's way too healthy right now. That's what it is. Well, here, this is what's happening. AJ Green got a voodoo curse put on him that other people have to go down to keep him healthy. That's what's happening.
Like
right here. Yeah, so this many injuries is just to keep AJ Green healthy. These were all AJ Green injuries, and then he's just getting to avoid them. They're replacements. This is all AJ Green. All right, guys. So we've got no bye weeks this week. We've got Dynasty update. What do we have? How did we do last week, Brad, on our predictions?
We went 3-1.
That's what we did the week before.
Not too shabby.
No.
Our week 2 predictions. Matt and Stu, game of the week. We're choosing you, Stu.
Yep.
Sorry, Matt. You have to be a Dynasty champ or to flip the coin. They're very biased predictions.
Very biased. Super biased.
Dylan versus Rod. We're going to go with Dylan in this one.
Yep.
Because Rod did the fire sale.
Yep.
And Brad versus Dixon. We're going to go with me. And then Lubbock versus Adam. We're going to go with Lubbock. It's going to be crazy because that's going to make Lubbock 3-0.
Right.
Pretty
Yeah,
good,
he's going to be leading my division because he hasn't played me yet, or you.
Yeah.
So
the here we go. The very biased Dynasty Power Rankings real quick. Are they biased too?
Oh God, like any more biased, and we're telling the truth. Like they would just be honesty at that point.
Oh, well, these are pretty honest rankings because especially at the bottom because some fire things going on.
Oh.
Adam, you're last, bro. But you're rebuilding. Like y'all, someone you just were like, you know what? This isn't my year, and you just pulled the trigger early, and you're like, give me all the picks.
I believe the exact quote is, "I'm pulling a Dylan," and he just he was like, "Everything's for sale. It's got to go. I don't care where the hell it's going. It's just got to get out of here." So it's Rod was like, "Yeah, I guess I'll join on this. This sounds like a dumb plan. Let's go ahead and try this out. Let's see how this works out." And Brad and I went to town, and we came back better on the end of it. So
we'll go over that in Collision Corner. So Adam, we got you at 8. Rod, we got you at 7. You're both the fire sales, which means it stands true. Y'all two is going to be not in the playoffs. Dylan at 6, Matt at 5, Dixon at 4. Lovick at 3 because he's 2-0. Then he just went and got Lamar Jackson.
Right yeah.
And he's got Jonathan Taylor starting already. So you got Lovick. We already got you top 3, bro. Stu, we got you at 2. We got me at 1. We're just unchanged. We'll see what happens as we start facing off with each other more between me, you, and Lovick.
Yeah.
It's gonna get dicey.
I thought I had you there for a minute. you were really upset Sunday night with the way Russell Wilson was playing. That man was on fire.
I'm not gonna lie. Monday night, I was just in a glass case of emotion because in the redraft, I had Josh Jacobs versus Will Lutz, and then in the dynasty against you, I had Will Lutz and Alvin Kamara, and I was down like 15 against you. You're Josh Jacobs, and so there's a moment there. I was like, "Oh, okay, I'm gonna win in dynasty." Oh no, I'm not, but I'm gonna win in redraft. Oh, now I'm not gonna win in either. And I was like, "Oh, I won both." I literally stood behind the couch.
That last Alvin Kamara touchdown, like that was so dumb. Like they didn't need to go for it. They were gonna lose. They weren't coming back. They didn't need to give him the freaking ball. It was dumb. That last touchdown put him over like 100 yards, and he finally got the extra 3 bonus points in the touchdown, and I lost by 10. It was dumb. But, it's always going to be close like that with me and you. I feel like, it's just going to go back and forth. So I just got to beat you when it counts.
I'm going to throw this out there for y'all that do daily fantasy football. If you have a team like the Packers or the Saints that have a bona fide alpha wide receiver and like a really good running back, that bona fide wide receiver's down, enter that running back in every contest because they're going to go ham. And both did. Alvin Kamara and Aaron Jones went. They're like, you're the central part of the offense now.
Yeah,
Vince. Having Aaron Jones last year.
Vince, your ranking here in a second is because you have Alvin Kamara. That is the reason you have the ranking you're about to have in a minute. It's because Alvin Kamara is dumb right now. No Michael Thomas. Literally, the option is hand it to Alvin Kamara 100,000 times.
If you were drafting today, would you take and redraft? Would you take Alvin Kamara number 1?
If I was drafting today, yes. Like knowing that Saquon's out, knowing that CMC is done for 4 to 6 weeks, yes, I would. Me and the wife and Lovick and Dixon did a rules league where I'm testing out stuff, and we actually drafted last night, and I think Lauren did take Alvin Kamara 1 overall. So yeah. So yeah, we tried out linear drafting because of dynasty potentially to see if linear drafting would work for dynasty a little better instead of snake, because that's how actual NFL draft goes, and draft picks would be a little different too. So just trying things out with that league, trying to see if we like different rules, waiver wire change-ups and stuff, trying to see if any of that would work any better for the league and not just shoot it out of my ass and say, hey, let's try this rule that I've never ever tried before, and I don't know if it'll work, but let's just try it. So now I'm actually trying it a year ahead of time before I make proposals to our league. So it's going to be interesting.
Okay. So there we go. So those are the – oops, a second here. I'm trying to get into my spreadsheet here, and I actually double-clicked it and pulled up the old keyboard. I didn't mean to do that.
All right, guys.
So our league consensus rankings, everyone got their consensus rankings in. So this is for the Bundy League. Number 12, don't shank me because it's everyone else's fault. They put you there. I didn't do it.
Hey, Brad, do we need to look at your – here, Brad. Wait. Brad, what did you rank Mo at? Let's check real quick.
Oh, we don't have to check that.
Oh, what, Brad, there's a 12 next to his name, underneath your selections.
Yeah, Mo, I think the loss Saquon really got people for you, and they just see you as an easy one to rank for right now. But I like your ad of Jeff Wilson. I like your ad of Ryan Tannehill. You're going to get Chris Godwin back, so let's see what you do this week. Number 11, Guru's that down there at number 11. So he had a tough loss. So we'll see what happens this week. Look, Lovick started out 0-6 last year, and he made the playoffs.
I mean, you also started. I mean, to be fair, Adam started 0-6 last year as well, and made the bad. Did he actually make it to the final Bad Bowl?
I'd have to check. But
Here, you keep
but
talking
yeah, so
and
you
I'll
got
check.
50-50 shot. But yeah, so just because you're 0-2 or it's fine. Or for 1-1 with some bad injuries, it's a long season. Injuries are going to hit all of us too. With our luck, it'll hit some of us even harder during bye weeks. So just keep trucking along. Number 10 was it's Day, because you started Sammy Watkins after week 1, and therefore that puts you at 10. You only start Sammy Watkins week 1. You don't start him week 2.
No, you don't do after that. He's fool's gold
I
after that.
already saw Day you took Sammy Watkins out against me for week 3, which I'm like, that's bull. I want to face Sammy Watkins, but you didn't do that. So number 9, CoPro. See what happens with Julio. You had a rough week last week. I think you lost. Stu, did you beat CoPro?
I did, yes.
Yeah, so CoPro, you had a really rough week last week. Deshaun Watson's doing you no favors. As a Texans owner, I'm glad you drafted him. A Texas fan, I'm glad he drafted him. And I didn't let my fan bias get him in that round. Otherwise, I'd be 0-2. So
the toilet bowl last year was actually Michael Day. Wait, no. Oh, no, it wasn't. I thought Rodney won it.
Yeah.
So, shouldn't it have been Rodney? Huh. It shows here it was Matt and Day, which is hilarious because that's not who it was.
Yeah.
Anyways, go on.
Yeah, Rodney won it, and he left. So let's see here. So number 8, we have you, Stu.
Yep, I'm shocked at that. I'm shocked. I'm not gonna lie, a little shocked.
You're right there in purgatory. So good spot to be with losing CMC right now. But you're right in the hunt. You're 1-1. I mean, it's so early in the season.
Right. Right.
Number 7, we got Sam. Our wise and supreme leader. Thank you for making that ruling so quickly and viciously, I might add.
I would say benevolently. Benevolent. You were benevolent. It wasn't vicious at all. It was benevolent.
You showed us mercy, what you did. When we deserve none. You always give us grace. Okay, so then number 6, we have Big City, Mr. Vince. We'll see what happens. See if you start Leonard Fournette this week. That's what I'm curious about. Number 5, we got Dixon coming in there, making the top 5. He lost Cortland Sutton. That sucks. But you got Miles Sanders back. So we'll see. And you got Mike Evans back. So that's good. Number 4, Matt, who also voted himself number 1. Behind the scenes, I like to throw it out there. He voted himself number 1. So Matt, you, but you're a 4. Everyone else saw you as a 4. Good team. Jonathan Taylor, your running backs are solid. Quarterback's pretty good. A receiver, 2 is where you're hurt with just having AJ Green. And let's see here, number 3, Lovett, who also put himself at number 1. You're all getting where I'm going with this, but the rest of the league was like, nah, love it. You're at 3. Actually, you tied with me, and but I have more points scored, so I just got the tiebreaker. That puts me at number 2. Happy to actually get there without a tight end. The rest of you have like 3 on your teams, and I hate you for it. Making it very difficult for me to stream. I did not vote for myself number 1. But who did vote for himself number 1 and is number 1? Dylan. Dylan's number 1. So yeah, everyone else thought you were number 1 too, Dylan. So except for Matt and Lovett. But you are number 1 according to everyone else consensusly. So congratulations, sir. Enjoy your time on the mountaintop. Number 1 is a scary place to be because you're like, oh, I'm probably going to lose the next 5 games. But I think you'll be fine. You got a really, really good roster. And then the next we got is, what's our next segment, Stu?
We have got Collusion Corner, league upsets and crazy trades of the week.
All right, Stu. So the first trade we had was in the Monday League, and you sent Michael Gallup to Shep for Antonio Gibson. I gave you both an A. It just fills both needs. I think Michael Gallup is the third best wide receiver on the Cowboys. Just personally, I think CeeDee Lamb's already passed him up. But it's a high octane offense.
Yep.
Michael Gallup can have some big games. Yeah.
I mean, technically, I couldn't have even gotten Gibson. Matt drafted Gibson before I drafted Michael Gallup. So in the draft, I would have taken Gibson right where I got Gallup. So I honestly just got who I probably should have had for weeks now. So
there you go. So Antonio Gibson, I like him. Love the talent. Washington does too. The football team.
The football team.
So the football team really loves him there in DC. And then the next one we got was a trade in Dynasty.
There are a lot of these, by the way. There are a lot.
Yeah, this is the fire sale, so we'll try to get through them real quick with some quick grades. I sent Saquon Barkley to Rod, Leonard Fournette, DK Metcalf, and 2 2022 first-round picks. Stu, give us your grades.
Rodney really likes Saquon, and I don't understand why any of this occurred, or why this happened, like why he went and did this, but he did. He gave up Leonard Fournette. I understand he's not what Rod thought he was getting when he traded him for Matt, or did he trade him from you originally?
For me, I traded him Leonard Fournette for Hollywood.
Yeah. So that you just keep trading him back and forth and got a bunch of first round picks along with DJ Metcalf for Saquon, which is out for the rest of the year. And I understand. Like that gives Rodney a really good running back for next year and going forward. But Saquon, this is the second year in a row where he's gotten big injuries that have really messed up his fantasy value. So Rodney gave a lot of future picks away that could have really been really good first rounders for him for Saquon that potentially could do this every single year. So I'm going to give Rodney a B. Saquon is a really good player. You can't deny that when he's out there. He just plays on a really, really awful team. So I don't think this is the end of things for him. But hopefully he goes somewhere else and doesn't go to the Giants. Leonard Fournette's good. DJ Metcalf is good. Those 2 first-round picks made it about 2.5 seconds on your team before they got traded away. So I'm still going to say this is an A for you. You got rid of a player that can't help you this year at all for 2 players that potentially can fill in for buys and 2 really good picks for the future that you didn't have.
Yep, and like I said, those 2 picks were on my team for about 5 minutes, and I flipped them to Adam. Chris Godwin, Mo's favorite Tampa Bay wide receiver. Stu, give us your grades.
Yeah, Adam needs picks. Adam's team is not great with Chris Godwin. He got 2 really good picks for 2 years from now. This doesn't even apply to 2021. These are both 2022 picks. So, he did what he needed to do to help his team in the future. He knows it's not a win now season for him. There's some really big juggernaut teams up at the top here, and he's not really doesn't really feel like he can do anything with it. So he got draft capital. I'm gonna say he got a A here. You got an A for getting a really good wide receiver in the future. I don't know how he's gonna do this year. He hasn't done very well with Tom Brady. I don't know if Tom Brady's declining or this team is just trying to figure itself out. So it's a really good shot for you for 2 picks that you don't necessarily need, because I think by the time you get around to this, you're going to probably have some more picks in 2022 when you want them.
And then the next one we have is Rodney trading Hayden Hurst to Adam for Chris Carson. This is a dynasty trade. I gave Rodney an A. He gets started running back and compare with Barkley next year.
Yep.
I get a B for Adam. Needs core running back, so I was kind of surprised he did that.
Right.
I just doubt Hurst is a fantasy top option in the next 2 years. We'll see. I mean, Hurst didn't do it in Baltimore, and they kicked him to the curb, and now he's in Cleveland. But I'm not Cleveland. I'm sorry, Atlanta. But we'll see how it goes. But I don't know. I would rather kept Chris Carson over the next few years than I would Hayden Hurst. That's just a personal opinion. But if for anything, trade Chris Carson for picks.
I mean, Chris Carson is good for this year. Hayden Hurst is good for this year. So I like that part. I like they're both good tight end options for this year. Now, why this trade occurred between these two, I don't know. I guess Adam figures Hayden Hurst has got long-term fantasy value. Running backs in Dynasty aren't as valuable as wide receivers are, so I understand why you had to pay $2 for Chris Godwin. But yeah, I mean, Chris Carson has been hurt here and there, but he's just he's doing really well this year. So I don't know why Rod needed him this year necessarily. Yes, I guess it's for next year to see if he can be something next year. I don't really understand this trade a whole lot for either one of them. They're a wash. A's, B's, I don't really care. They're both just kind of
Okay. Then, Stu, you traded Nyheim Hines in a first round for 2022 to Adam. This is another dynasty trade for Chase Edmonds and Kenyon Drake. Give you an A. Because you got the guaranteed Arizona starter for this year. You're trying to go for a championship. CMC's down for a few weeks. So you just plug that guy right in if you need to.
Yep.
And then, I mean, once again, like Kenyon Drake's young. Chase Edmonds is young. If I was Rod, I probably would have kept them.
This was Adam. Yep.
Adam, I probably would have kept him. But he's loading up on picks. But I mean, would at least kept Edmonds, kept the younger one, but he gave you both.
No.
I give Adam a C.
So I'll give you a little behind the thing. I refuse to give him a first round pick without Edmonds.
Oh, there you go.
So
you're playing hardball and it worked.
Yeah, because basically he's not worth a first round pick if you don't have the backup. And Adam completely agreed. Adam saw the same thing. Nyheim Hines was basically I had to empty out a roster spot to be able to get both of them on there, and I didn't want to have to drop Hines onto the waiver wire. He has some potential value this year, so yeah. So I mean that's the whole reason why Adam agreed. He didn't really care. He was willing to get the one guy and not have to pick up another guy, so it worked.
And another dynasty, this is where it gets a little tricky here, is we have Lubbock, who was building for the future, and all of a sudden decided, I want to contend now. So he traded Joe Burrow and T. Higgins and a 2021 first to Rodney, Calvin Ridley, Julian Edelman, and 2021 second. So with Jonathan Taylor getting all the snaps now, Lubbock was definitely not patient in the process. And he has now decided he wants a seat at the big boy table. He has started 2-0. So yeah, he's ready. He's ready to try to make a run at it already.
Yeah. Let's go ahead. I'm not going to grade this until we tell the next part. And let's mention the next one and kind of do them together. They're two separate people they're trading, but it all kind of works out to make sense, I guess.
Then Lubbock took the 2022 first. Trade to Adam for Lamar Jackson. So he upgraded from Joe Burrow to Lamar Jackson. That's an upgrade. Got arguably the number one fantasy quarterback. He upgraded from T. Higgins. He didn't have to wait for another maybe year or two for him to do anything, to Calvin Ridley, who's already in his breakout. And basically lost a couple first-round picks and has Julian Edelman also, who's looking good for Cam Newton as long as he stays healthy.
Mm-hmm.
So overall, a combo, if you're all in now, yeah, Lubbock, you get an A. I mean, it's just A+++, because I mean the guys you got is Calvin Ridley, who's actually having a breakout, and arguably the number one fantasy quarterback in football. So I give you an A. Adams, building, give me a first round. I would have probably demanded more than that first round pick, but he was just wasn't no fix. He's all on a complete fire sale. Rod, same thing. He's just doing a fire sale. I love that he gets Joe Burrow and T. Higgins combo. So if you're building for the future and you want to, that's a probably good pair to build off of.
Julian Edelman is very old.
Yes.
He's got maybe a couple of seasons left this year. I mean, he could if they go all the way and they go for the Super Bowl. This may just be it for him. He may just stop here. He's looking good, but he's looking old. He's huffing and puffing at the end of the games. End of some of these runs he is. So he's doing well this year, but I don't know what long-term dynasty value he has. So Rod, I'm definitely giving Rod an A here. I like what you did. It's a first round pick. It's a potential really good wide receiver. Joe Burrow this year has been really good, has he not? I mean, So
he got Super Bowls in his future.
They've got to go get some linemen for the Cincinnati Bengals, and I think Joe Burrow will have a phenomenal career. T. Higgins, I'm not sure where that's going to go. AJ Green's got to go away before anything can kind of emerge there.
I think that's going to happen sooner than later. I mean, AJ Green's not going to be a Bengal next year.
No, I mean he's looking for a paycheck after this. That's the reason he didn't play last year. He's on his last year of his contract.
Higgins will be the alpha next year, not this year, but toward the end of the season, you're going to start I think you're going to start seeing T. Higgins taking over a little bit.
That's what I'm predicting. You're going to see a lot more T. Higgins, a lot less Tyler Boyd for right now, or they're going to kind of be a tandem between the two.
I'm sorry. Do you have any more grades?
No. I mean I haven't. Rodney, you get an A on this. Like you needed what you got, and I mean I like Joe Burrow. Adam, I'm gonna agree with Brad. I would have asked for more. You're probably gonna get a B. You got a first round pick like you needed, and it's all in that 2022. So that 2022 draft, you're hoping there's some amazing rookies in that draft because you've got like half the first round picks right now.
And then Stu, the final one we're going to do is basically all about Dynasty. So, but yeah, you traded Jarvis Landry to Rob for a 2022 second. You're going to have to drop Jarvis Landry. That shows you the depth of your team that you got dropped Jarvis Landry. But instead, you're like, well, maybe I can get a pick for him. Rod gave you a 2020 second. Andrew's still young. He's still going to be serviceable for quite a while. So give Rod an A for it. Just give you a B because you've dropped Jarvis Landry. And the fact that your team's so stacked that you're able to do that, that's why you get a B.
That's fair. I mean, to be fair, I actually got Brad's 2022 second round pick. So it's potentially a really high pick. So if we still do snake draft at that point, it will be it'll be like 3 picks after my first round. Like I literally lost 2 draft positions.
I'm for linear draft and dynasty.
There we go. Exactly. That's this could really screw me over. Like just screw me over all over, Brad. It's fine. Yeah, no, it's fine.
Okay, and so let's go ahead and move on to the WAB Lotto, Stu.
Sounds good.
Okay, so WAB Lotto are big spenders. Go ahead and get into it. Lubbock, $57 on Darrell Henderson.
That is $57. That is all of his WAB. That is every last bit of it. He is out of here. $0 bids. $0 bids for Lubbock for the rest of the season, and it's week 3.
Really thought Mike Davis was going to get the high bid, but no, it was Darrell Henderson. But Mike Davis came in second. CoPro, $30 on Mike Davis. Good starter for, between 3 to 6 weeks. We'll see how long that high sprain is on CMC. Am spends $25 on Keelan Cole. sneaky start. If DJ Shark doesn't start in Thursday Night Football, I don't know if I would have spent that much on Keelan Cole, though. I spent a whopping 25 on Mike Gesicki because I need a tight end. Stu, you wanted him, and I knew it. I was looking at it like, Stu's going to go in on Mike. I know he's going to do it. I changed my bid like 3 or 4 times, and just a brag because me and you are both in on him. You won't trade him. You won't trade him to me in Dynasty, even though I tried. The dude is in the 97th percentile in Spark Athlete, which is ridiculous. There's a 4.5, 4.40 dash, a 41.5-inch vertical, and he's already 6'6". Dude made some amazing catches on Sunday if you watched it.
Fucking hate you.
I mean,
I hate you.
And you're like, well, what happened? Well, his rookie year, he played for Adam Gase.
I hate you.
Yeah. His last 2 seasons with Penn State, Mike Gesicki.
You're just gloating. Shut up.
142 yards, 105 catches, 14 touchdowns.
You're a dick.
That was while playing with Chris Godwin, Deshaun Hamilton, Saquon Barkley on the same team, and Miles Sanders.
You're a dick.
No. But I like your pickup for tight end too. We'll get to that too. But him not playing for Adam Gase makes him a fantasy option. So everybody leaves Adam Gase does well. Dixon spent $21 on Russell Gage. I love this,
I do
especially
too.
if Julio
Oh,
times. I want to get Russell Gage.
Yeah, I spent
thought
some money on some
you can
Russell
get him.
Gage. I did not spend clearly enough, but yeah, no, that looks like that's going to be a great pickup for Dixon.
Dixon sniped me on that one. He sniped me on the next one too, which is the budget spenders.
Right.
Dixon spending $17 on Miles Gaskin.
Yeah, spent on that one too. Yeah, that one. I had some money on that one. That was I think I only had a $5 on that one though, which
Yeah, I had a 5, and I think I had 9. I had 9 on Miles Gaskin, and then I just purposely not mentioned him at all this week. And then I hate you, Dixon. And then Dylan spent $15 on Dion Lewis.
This was a controversial. Let's go ahead and talk about this. Like it's a little controversial. To be perfectly honest, I thought that I'm pretty sure that's how we discovered that's how it was that whenever 2 people tie, it's supposed to be opposite rankings, but maybe that was in our previous NFL app. You had the option to set that possibly.
And what it was, I think Mo used a waiver the week before, and Dylan didn't. And so it just adjusted that way. And Sam's made a ruling you can't change it in the app. You tried.
No,
so.
there is absolutely zero way to do it. It's whatever the app does. You can't change it no matter if you wanted to or not.
But no, I'll be honest. I think you saved $15 because I don't think if Dion Lewis is going to be the starter for the Giants, they wouldn't have went out and signed Devontae Freeman.
No. This is what I will say. This is the only caveat. Now, if
Please Wayne Gallman last year.
True. No, this is true. But if Dylan needs Dion Lewis this week to win and plays him this week, I can see $15. Okay, sure. Only because Freeman has not been there. He doesn't necessarily know the.
Freeman's not going to take over until 3 weeks from now.
Yeah, he might be next week. He might get a lot more touches next week. So it's probably Gallman, which is still out on waivers if anybody needs somebody that bad. And then Dion Lewis. So I think Dylan rented a guy for a couple of weeks, and $15 to rent a guy if you need him in your flex really is not the worst amount of money ever paid for that.
What happened when Leonard Fournette got signed by Tampa Bay? Who got all the snaps week 1? Ronald Jones. What happened in week 2? Leonard Fournette show.
Yeah.
So that's what I expect to happen. I could be completely wrong, but I got him for free. So because I picked him up earlier. So
yeah. I mean, Wayne Gallman is the more Saquon-like player. He is not the pass catcher like Dion Lewis is. But he clearly proved he couldn't do it. He proved to the Giants last year he couldn't do it whenever Saquon was out last year. He had one good week the very first week I had him, and then after that he just kind of petered out, and the Giants forced Saquon to come back too early. So yeah, no, I honestly I think if Dylan rents him for a couple of weeks, $15 isn't bad. Lovick, spending all his WAB on 2 players that he doesn't currently have in his lineup at all for either one of them, and is trying to currently sell them all for 100. He has 100 WAB between the 2 and is just trying to sell them. They're just sitting on his bench. I don't know if that's a smart move just to make sure your opponents can't have them, or if you think the league is going to overpay for a guy. I don't know that you've seen this league, but we don't typically bail people out on stupid waiver wire decisions, typically. Now, Brad's shady waiver wire decision, we bail him out constantly, but stupid waiver wire decisions we don't help you out on.
Our cheapskates. Dylan gets Matthew Stafford $5. Kenny G is going to be back.
Yep.
I got the Seattle kicker for $3. It's just a kicker. Stu spends $2. You get Dalton Schultz. I think it's a good little sneaky tight end ad. Like that, you had a little backup ad just in case you didn't get Mike Gesicki.
I did. I'm smart.
Then I spent $2 on the Kill Harry and then just dropped him for TJ Hamler. So I'm drinking the Kool-Aid, as Dixon would say.
Yep.
You got Chargers on $2. Good defense for next week.
Yep.
Traquan Smith for $1. Besides Kamara, I think he's going to be the guy that leads them in production until Michael Thomas comes back. They have high draft capital on him, and just Emmanuel Sanders isn't use him in that way. I'm really surprised by the not hardly any usage of Emmanuel Sanders, especially when Michael Thomas was out.
Yeah. I was happy about it because I won the week for that, but yeah, he got one play at the very end when they were trying to do hurry up and trying to throw it down the field a really long way. That was about it.
And then our free bin, Mo got Tannehill. I would prefer you took Joe Burrow here, but apples, oranges,
Yep.
I think Henry's going to start eating again, probably this week against Minnesota. We'll get to that later. Adam with Mo Alley Cox. That's a really good ad while Jack Doyle's at, because Philip Rivers loves to throw his tight ends.
Yep.
Zach Pascal. I just think they're going to give more to Michael Pittman than anything. And then Joe Burrow. Love it. Love the ad. Love it. Chase Claypool. Good Hail Mary, which is what got Chase Claypool added there probably because it was an 84-yard touchdown. And those are going to be your ads moving forward. Love it because you are broke.
0.
And then, yep. I'm sorry. I guess Adam already dropped Mo Alley Cox because I had that Sam picked up Mo Alley Cox. So I guess Adam had for a split second dropped him.
Well, see, didn't you drop Harrison already? Didn't you drop
Cox?
No, you. Didn't you drop Harry already? N'Keal Harry?
I dropped Harry and picked up Hamler.
So why is Harry not available to pick up? You didn't have him for 24 hours.
It's probably because one was bidded on, and the other one was a pickup for free the next day. And if you pick up a free the next day and drop them same day, they don't go to waivers. There
we go. So he was a free agent. You picked him up off free agency. You dropped him. He was still on free agency technically. Okay, yeah. That makes sense.
And then and our special dynasty waiver mention, another fellow member of the Devontae Freeman fan club, Matt, wasted $35 of his waiver dynasty on Devontae Freeman, which I really enjoyed seeing that because he's been on the anti-Devontae Freeman train for a while now.
I picked up Mike Davis for 40 in dynasty. And we do have one more waiver in the redraft. Yep. Mo picked up Cordell Patterson for freeze like 4 hours ago.
Bears. So there you go. So there's your waiver moves. Your remaining WAB balances: Dave with 100, shocker. 97, Stu 91, Vince 90, Matt 88, Dylan 80, Adam 78. I got 68, Sam 59, Dixon 55, Copro 50, Lovick nothing. So already, 5 of the 12 teams already have less than 70 in WAB.
Yep.
After 2 weeks. Didn't take long.
Not at all. Not at all. So we're going to go ahead and go to Laura Bell Bundy's Big Board of Bets. So still haven't added the other bets, but right now Brad and I have our updated bet for CEH versus Josh Jacobs. Josh Jacobs is winning currently at 33.9 points, and CEH is 22.8 points.
I haven't updated those numbers.
Oh, cool. Cool. Then those aren't right, and we've not updated this in the slightest. So we have actually got
But Josh Jacobs is
45.9. And
5.9, and CH is at 32.8.
yeah.
Yeah, Josh Jacobs still winning. Yeah, so that's where we are at on that.
We need to get some water bets going, boys. Get the water bets a-going.
Yeah, we need to get some more water bets, guys. Okay, so let's move on to Brad and Stu's biased matchup predictions of the week.
Super biased. God, they're biased. All right, Brad. What did we go last week?
6-0, undefeated, never lost.
Look at that. Come on. Where's that bet at? I think, ooh, hey, Brad, how about we get naming rights to the other podcast teams for 3 years? Would you
I feel like we need naming rights for a decade.
Ooh, I'm down. Let's do it. You got 10 years of naming rights for whichever podcast team. What do you say, Lovick and Matt? Because I know Adam's doing his own thing these days. So it's Lovick and Matt versus Stu and Brad. Are you willing to take our bet? I need a podcast episode. I need you to accept the bet in a podcast. Come on. Where you at? We're into almost 3 weeks now, and we have 0 Get Some podcast. What do you got here?
You think they would? They're undefeated.
Yeah, you would think these two would be gloating gloating left and right. I mean, they're 4-0. We're only 3-1. I mean, come on. Like, they're in the top half of the consensus rankings. Like, you would think these two would be gloating left and right. So, Brad, what do we got for this week's predictions?
Stu versus Adam. Stu, I picked you.
I didn't have anything to do with this one.
I'd want to pick these two, so we'll see where we go with that. Dylan Lovett, game of the week. We got Dylan edging it out.
Yeah, no, I like this one. I like this one a lot. This is going to be an exciting game to watch. This is one I think I may watch this one more than my own because I don't want to see my own.
And then Sam versus Vince. We got Vince edging out Sam. Matt versus Dixon. We got Matt going 3-0.
Yep.
Mo versus CoPro. We got Mo rising like a phoenix from the ashes. The Shank and Ja Rule tickets on 2-1. And then Dave versus Brad. Possible upset alert because he's got Derrick Henry against the Minnesota Vikings. You could easily drop a 40 burger on me. So not excited about that matchup.
No, that one can be scary. Like he could just come out of nowhere. He's been good. Like he hasn't been the worst team in the league by a far margin, and he really could just have a really good week. And
he has Mahomes, and that's enough.
That's just scary. Mahomes and Henry can just really make a scary combo there.
I think you get 80 points out of those two players with between them. But we have me just because the rest of the way the lineup looks. We have me edging out Day. The Guru predictions. So the Guru sent us in his predictions today. He's just like us except for one. He chooses himself over you, Stu, in y'all's matchup.
He does not like my team. He was wrong on my game last week too. I think that was the only one he actually had different other than he always picks. He's always going to pick Dixon to lose, so that's why we just kind of made that not exist.
The Guru's game of the week is also Dylan versus Lovick.
Yeah.
And he said he just had to flip a coin. Lovick, I'm sorry. So I didn't win.
Yep.
He chooses Dylan.
Yep. So we will see who is right. Is the Guru right or is the Get Some podcast right? Not Get Some, the Fantasy Gravy.
Podcast,
Get Some podcast and put something out there. We might see one of their predictions today.
Yeah, Lovick, maybe you can just look at that picture of Mattis on your desk and get some inspiration.
See what we got. How did we like how did everybody like the Rickroll? Was that fun? Was that just random?
And then we got speaking of getting Rickrolled, we have Vince Rickrolling Sam. The Guru does, and he has Matt beating Dixon also. He's got his brother going 3-0. He's also got Mo whooping up on Co-Pro at Ja Rule concert. And he has me edging out Day. So those are the guru predictions. And that's
That's
all
it,
I
boys.
have.
That is all we got for today. I hope you enjoy. I hope you enjoy your gravy. I hope it's spicy as always. I hope you guys have a low injury week. This last week was unnecessary and crazy, and I don't want to see us like digging the waiver wire, picking guys we've never heard of in our entire lives at the end of the season.
Yeah.
Not about that life.
Me neither. Y'all have fun. Have a wonderful rest of your week. Good luck. Good luck this weekend.
See you guys.